things work together for good. Those first few years is what God was preparing for us to do the marital counselings we do on air and everything. Because today when somebody comes and tells me, I'm so fed up of marriage, I empathize. I was there and I'm thinking, I've sat exactly where you sit. So I'd lived alone for quite a while. So I had my mindset, I had my expectations, and my expectations which I'd never communicated to him. He had never communicated to me his expectations. And so for me, I thought I was doing things right. And to him, I was not being submissive. So I thought submission is to cook, and I used to cook very well. I'm a good cook. And so again, I thought submission is to wash his clothes. He was never happy. So me, I thought this one now, he'll not give me stress. You get what I'm saying? Now, he had just lost his job. Having lost his job, I had become the breadwinner. I didn't know what I know today. I could have understood that he was going through the phase of, becoming like the head of the home and having nothing to provide, and the wife is providing, and this is how I used to do it. It was out of a lot of ignorance. We'd take a matatu, we're staying in Ridgeways. We'd take a matatu, Kiambu Road, and I'm carrying the money because I earned it. Hi. He's seated at the back, and I like sitting near the window. And so I'm seated somewhere close to the window, and when I'm paying, and I'm telling the makanga, uko nyuma mule yako nyuma, ndiye analipia hii. And I never knew that it was eating him up, you get what I'm saying? I was like, I'm doing you a favor, hello. What's your problem? So we'd go to the supermarket, and finally refused getting inside the supermarket with me. Today I understand so much out of the foolishness of those years. That's why I say all things work together for good. Because now when I hear of a man going through an economic crisis, I tell the woman to be wiser than I was. Yeah, because I understand the psychology behind that now. Then I didn't know. And we'd go to the supermarket, and of course there's a queue, and after he has picked everything, I would walk behind and now ask the cashier, how much am I paying? And so I would pay. And I'd see him walk, not turning, and from there his mood is down. I'm wondering, what's wrong with this guy? We've just done shopping for the house. Haven't I paid, What else do you want? What do men want? Very, very, very complicated. I knew, and I waited so long for so little. Because he doesn't make me happy. He's always grumpy. Then for him, he reacted differently. I would leave the house to go and work. Then I used to do supplies with UN. I would go to do my supplies. And when I'm coming back, he will ensure that everything in that house is dirty. There's a cup, there's a plate, and would wonder, how many guests are in the house? He was all alone. And then he's lying under a tree, and he's reading a book or praying. And I used to think, God, I will burn this tree. I was wishing a lightning would burn that tree. And it's not like I'll come to the house and he'll get out of the tree, from under the tree, at least give me something to take. No. You tell me, you're the wife. You need to go and cook. I come wash the dishes, and then I cook, and then I serve him. He'll not even do anything. Then he goes to sleep. I'm waiting for tomorrow. Then I'll tell him, you know what? Let's go and sell what I sell. You tell me, I don't like sales. I'm not a salesperson. Okay, you're not a salesman, hello. But at least wake up and do something. So that was our main cause of conflict.
The amazing thing is that we were living in a very nice neighborhood. That was Ridgeways. Now, we are the only people who have no electricity.
You are wannabes.
And we have no gas. We have no gas.
Failed wannabes.
And she's the one who had found this nice house. Now, unfortunately, when I lost my job, now everything, I'm angry. Number one, I'm angry because I'm feeling like you're the head of the home, you can't provide. So I'm not even angry with her. I'm angry with myself because I'm feeling like I'm a failure. This is not supposed to be happening. And I'm also asking God a few questions. How does this thing happen? And so every time she would ask for some things, and especially now that one of fare, most of the time in the buses, and I'm seated, I try to very quickly enter the front seat. If I enter the front, she would be likely to be behind. Even if we sit together, like she would, just at the moment of the conductor asking for money, he should be like, to kwawili na huyu. And I've been feeling like these people, I would feel like all the entire Matatu is looking at me for this man who is being paid for bus fare. So that would
But
make me
wasn't that
angry.
pride?
No, it was just I can say transition, and it was very complicated for me. I was wondering, how do I handle this? I'm supposed to be the one who is providing, but I'm not providing. So
But you're being provided for.
and especially that part, being provided for. Now, and I was thinking, my desire was, I wish you can give me all the money before I leave home, so that I'm the one who is paying the bus fare.
When I learned better one day, I had learned better. I went to Nakuru. I was editing a book. We had done a book and I was editing. It was taken over by the UN. So they wanted us to edit it in a certain way. We were taken to a hotel. And we were paid. And I came with the money and I was feeling so submissive, so humble. I was so proud of my humility. I told him, this is the money that we have made. Do you know he left it on the table, he went and slept. After working for 7 days. And I was expecting our firstborn son. I was carrying all that weight to Nakuru. And I bring the money, 9,000, he's left it on the table. I think that was a deposit. He's left it on the table and I wanted him at least now to budget like a man. I went to sleep and he left it. I said, Utaona, you see anything from me? Now I used to hide money. Let me tell you the truth. I used to hide money. Very, very, very seriously. Now this one time I hid money. Because we were very broke. I decided now it's about hiding. So I decided now I'll be hiding because of a bad day. And because this one, I think it was 7,000. Meanwhile, we were so broke, there was no gas in the house. So he had asked me what do we do. I told him, get firewood. You know, just get firewood outside there, just make some fire and cook if you're hungry. So he had some money. So if you're hungry, just cook. You get what I'm saying? That night, robbers came. Long story short, one man said, I can smell money. I can smell money. He claimed, he was a very petite man, he claimed to exactly where the money was. Friends, he had bionic eyes, or he was a witch. He went and got the money. And the notes were new. And I remember he unwrapped everything. And he threw the notes on the bed. No, he was so shocked because he knew there's no money.
You had stayed a week without gas.
Yeah, there was no money. The new notes. Now, my concern was no longer the thieves. You know, I knew the robbers will come and go because somehow it will be morning. Somehow this, I cannot be in the process of theft forever. It will end. My question was one, how will I account for that money? You know, what am I saying? We had a lot of issues which are actually not major issues because there are no issues of infidelity. There are no issues, but our issues were basically, I think, finances. And he didn't know how to handle his situation as well. He got angry with his situation and he projected it at me. And so for me, I would work very hard and hide everything. Okay, until that day, I stopped hiding to today.
I had the questions. I never asked her, but in my head, I'm like, what else don't I know? So I would withhold everything that I have to the end until she, like 3-4 days, she's saying, I have nothing. So that became the suspicion. Of course, I say it was a time for self-discovery for me. I remember sitting under that tree she wanted to burn.
Gladly.
That tree was very important because one time I'm lying under that tree and I'm wondering, why am I going through so much anger? Why am I so angry without having a job? And suddenly I woke up. I was like, you're a man because you're a man. You're a husband not because of the provision you do. There are so many other things that you provide. You provide security, you provide the love, you provide the prayers that you make for her. So if she comes back again and tells you, because we used to challenge each other with words, not challenging each other. I'm just using a nice word. Yeah. We would throw words to each other.
No, you know me, I used to edit them. You know, he would talk a lot of things, and then I would correct his grammar. I said, brother, you're telling me what? The grammar is wrong. The tenses are this. You know, it used to fire him.
So I was like, no, I'm armed. Even if she says anything, I know I'm the man. So she would come
And
home.
that's what you say, I'm the man.
I'm
And
the
I was
man.
thinking,
I became so calm. And then she came, then I discovered, I suddenly woke up, I decided I'll be washing the dishes. Because what I discovered,
it was a revolution.
what for me was like, the longer you stay in this thing, the longer you get into this bad attitude, the longer you're going to stay here. And what was ministered to me is like, I'm trying to prepare you to show you what happens in a home and how a woman does so many things and we don't appreciate. So when you begin to do these things, wash the dishes, clean the clothes, all those things, then I will begin to change your story. And then if she came, I would just tell her, I remember one time we had an argument and I remember I told her, as long as you continue to refuse to submit to what I'm telling to you, you'll continue to work as a man and I will continue to enjoy my home as a woman.
I used to call him the house husband.
And so I relaxed. But the time came now, after a while, when we had gone through a lot of challenges, I was like, we need to see a counselor. And I was like, we looked for our pastors. We totally appreciate them, Bishop Alan and
Kathy Kuna. They took a whole day.
And I just talked to them and I was like, I think my marriage is falling apart. And for me, I'm feeling like you guys are acting. You're talking about I love my wife, I love my husband, and I'm like, I feel like you're acting for us. Does this thing work? And the gentleman, the bishop looked at me and he said, do this, I can't talk to you alone. I want to hear both sides of the story. So we have an appointment tomorrow with your wife. And so we went for that meeting.
7 hours non-stop.
7 hours non-stop. And I remember being faced and I was being told, listen, there are things you have to change as a man. And I'm like, I was feeling like I was being torn apart. And she was happy for a long time because I was given what we call a nice msomo, but it was entering. Then her time came. And I was now smiling.
What did they say?
And of course, she was told a few things that she has to do. Because for her,
Pastor Kathy is also my cousin.
So for her issue, the greatest issue with her own, she was feeling like, I'm doing everything right.
Yeah, I remember that one. True.
So
mine was about self-righteousness.
Yes. So a few things were put in order, and we had that session, and after some time they said, we just want to catch up with you. And from that time, things changed. It
is true, by the way, for people who despise counseling, it really works. And it's from that foundation that God now called us to do now a master's and later a PhD in counseling psychology. Because it was interesting that people would come to us, our life is not working out. Well, ends can't even face each other. You get what I'm saying? You're thinking of how easy it is. My favorite program used to be Divorce Court. They don't air it anymore. Thank God for providence. Now, I used to watch and think, God, we should be in America. Because it would be like, chop, it's over. Now, people would come to us. They're having marital crisis. And when you come to us, we all give you attention. We deal with your crisis. We pray together. Your home is made. Difficult issues are sorted out. But man, there are still bees between us. It's so bad. And after we talked with Pastor Alan and Pastor Kathy, we really do appreciate your pastors. And their marriage was such a role model. Let me tell you the truth. It's good to talk from an insider. We're insiders. Those people's marriage is a role model. It is, as an insider, story mingi. It's a role model. So we decided we want not to help also people to make their marriages happy, because it was a calling. So what we do is not